Okay, so good morning. So most of you have girlfriends or your mothers and you like to give them flowers and chocolates because what woman doesn't like flowers and candy? So what if you want to give them edible flowers? So I'm going to be showing you how to make these Jolly Rancher roses. It's pretty easy. I got the idea off of YouTube from a company called We Are Me Too. And it's pretty easy. You know, if you're not that crafty, this is something very easy to make. Maybe your spouse or your mother, you know, will love it because you are making it instead of going to buy stuff, you are making it out of your heart. So what you will need is you're gonna need boiling hot water, about 3 blue, red, purple Jolly Ranchers, and then 2 green ones for your leaves. You're gonna need a wooden stick and some gloves because they do stain with the color. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna leave the Jolly Ranchers wrapped in the wrapper and you're just gonna boil the water. You do have to be careful because you can burn yourself. I burnt myself a few times making these for you guys. If you guys wanna try them. You do have to leave them overnight because they do tend to get sticky. I had made some and then, you know, a few of them broke because they did fall. You do have to be quick while molding them because they do harden pretty quick once they're out of the hot water. So you just want to stir them and just keep them in there for a bit while they melt a little bit. And you just want to like poke them around just to see how fast it'll get soft. I hope this because the water doesn't seem too hot. Okay, so just checking. You just gotta keep checking. Yeah. Okay. And then just put on your gloves. Make sure they do fit you because it's a little bit hard when they are bigger on your hands for molding the candy. Okay. So then you just want to wrap them out, take them out of the wrapper. You have to be pretty quick. So then you just start squishing them. And then you get the stick and you just stick it in there and you just mold it on there. So let's say this is your first petal. I'm just gonna take off my gloves, you guys. So this is your first petal, and you do want to keep them in a cup because since they are hot, they do tend to melt a little bit more. So you just spread them and shape them however you want. And just get the stick, and you just keep adding. So it's something pretty easy because I know not a lot of us are creative or artistic. I'm not, I know I'm not, but this is something very easy to do. So then you just get your green for your leaf. And then it is sticky, so I'll clean your table after because since the sugar in my floor was sticky all last night. Okay. Some people like to put them, I saw the video that they like to put the leaf to make it more like a bullish kind so that the petals rest on it. But yeah, this is basically like how you make a little rose out of Jolly Rancher. You know, everybody likes candy, so they'll enjoy it. It's very delicious and good. So, you know, if you're, like I said, if you're not creative, this would be something easy to do and make for your loved ones. Thank you. And then
All right, well, I thought the greeting was okay. You've got a nice little justification for us in the beginning. Your goal is clearly stated. There's not really a preview except for telling us what the materials are that you're going to need. You could probably lay this out by the stages that you're going to do. I think you probably need a third stage where you talk about delivering it and telling us a story concerning, that sort of thing. I do like the part where you say at the end, well, they are delicious and everybody enjoys candy. That's good. But this would be one of those things that you could make a little bit more invigorating by having a story to go along with it. I think the idea of talking about how you discovered this and mentioning that you don't feel particularly like you are a crafty person to begin with, that's okay. But did somebody give these to you? Have you tried to give them to somebody else? If you got a story about doing that, that would be really nice, and then it would give you something to talk about a little bit. The visual factors, you're standing in an appropriate place to do this. The demonstration is okay. You handle the materials that you're working with pretty well. Your facial expressions, you never look like you are disengaged or anxious about what you're doing. Your eye contact, of course, is inconsistent because you have to use the materials while you're speaking to us, and that's a little bit problematic. It becomes more problematic whenever we get those dead spots when you are trying to do that and you're not talking to us. So you're looking at your stuff and you're not talking to us, and it's like the silence is deafening. Yeah. And that's another one of those reasons why you want to have stories to tell while you're doing those kinds of things. You say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to form this into petals around here. The reason I chose roses is because those petals are nice and big and they're easy to see, and you get green leaves on them, that kind of stuff. So you can be talking to us while you're doing the thing that you are talking about. Otherwise, it just feels like we're waiting for the next thing to happen, and that is a problem. You've got pretty good variety in your voice. Like I said, I thought it was paced out pretty well at the beginning of the speech, but then once you started doing the craft itself, that's when we get those dead zones, and that's one of those things where you have to be a little bit more involved and prepared. All right, thank you.